Welcome to Black and Gold Today, brought to you by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm Jim Derry. The talk all week has been about quarterback Drew Brees and his ailing shoulder. It would seem at this point to be much more likely than not the franchise icon will be in that number when the Saints go marching into Carolina on Sunday. However, maybe lost in the shuffle of Brees' situation is the health of other key players who could be the difference on whether the team can stop Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton and halt the winless start. For the up-to-date information, let's turn to Saints beat writer Katherine Terrell, who knows much more about any of this than we do. So, Katherine, what's up with Jairus Byrd, Keenan Lewis, and Donnell Ellerbe?
You think that list is long enough there?
I can't say many more names than that.
Exactly. I think the good news for Saints fans is that they returned to practice. You know, it's obviously overshadowed by Brees. I almost missed the fact that Byrd was even at practice, but they're listed as DNPs on the injury report, which means they didn't participate in team drills yesterday, but they're at practice, participating during the open portion of the media, which is a huge sign considering we haven't even seen Jairus Byrd in a month. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll play this week, but I think it's definitely a positive sign going forward.
What's your best guess?
My best guess is that if Byrd plays, he'll be limited. I would think Keenan would stay out another week, but I'm not sure. And Ellerbe probably will get some snaps.
Okay, well, and on offense, Brandin Cooks and Jairus Evans also had their issues. What do you see there?
Brandin Cooks was at practice, but he wasn't participating, and Jairus Evans wasn't at practice today. Didn't really see Evans get nicked up last week, but not really sure about his status. I would think that Senio Kelemete would start in his place. And Evans has been playing decent, so obviously not good. And as far as Brandin Cooks goes, he's such an integral part of that offense. I don't think the Saints can afford to lose anyone else at this point.
Well, we can't have a Black and Gold show, a daily show, without asking about you-know-who. And is there any update on Drew Brees? And you know, people asking me, people asking you, should they start him this week on their fantasy team? What's the latest?
I think I've been asked about whether you should start Brees like 10 times this week. It's basically the same as it was yesterday. We might not have as much of an update because we don't talk to Brees today. He didn't throw yesterday, and I'm going to suspect he doesn't throw today. The big day is going to be tomorrow on Friday. Because he can't go the whole week without throwing, is what Peyton said. So really we'll have our best update then. But really it's up to Brees, and I think it comes down to, does he have so much pride that he would play even if he didn't feel like he'd be effective, or would he sit himself out for the good of the team? So we are not going to really know, I guess, until Sunday. But we'll see. And as far as starting him, I would look to other options.
I think I would too. Thanks, Katherine. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
We'll be right back with Thursday's Extra Point right after this.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
Well, today's Extra Point isn't one Black and Gold fans will likely appreciate. Today we're going to take a look at the number 5, as in years that end in 5. They haven't been kind to the New Orleans Saints, and in fact, we're in one of those years where it could be a bad omen for Coach Sean Payton if you believe in those sorts of things. Not only have the Saints had a losing record in every season that ends in 5, but they have an aggregate record of 17-45, 17-47 if you count the 2 losses this year. And they've had a coaching change the following season each time. In fact, twice they had coaching changes in that season and the next. In 1975, John North was fired after a 1-5 start. Ernie Hefferly took over and won 1 out of the final 8 games. And then owner John Meekum hired Hank Stram in 1976. Bum Phillips quit 12 games of the 1985 season. Interim coach Wade Phillips coached the final 4 games, and the team went 5-11. Jim Mora then took over in 1986. Mora was still around in 1995, but things were headed south. Even with a 7-9 finish, the Saints followed up with a diddly-poo season, and Rick Venturi was handed the reins for the final 11 games in 1996. Most of us try to forget 2005 when Hurricane Katrina forced the Saints to play home games in New York City, Baton Rouge, and San Antonio. The team went 3-13, Jim Haslett was exiled, and Sean Payton took over. What does all this mean for the rest of 2015? Well, that depends on if you believe in that sort of thing. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you Friday when we take a look at the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for watching.